Hi guys, good afternoon. How are you? Okay, well, today we're gonna have the last class of the semester because tomorrow I won't see you. Tomorrow it will only be for the exam, and I'll be giving you your grades probably during the weekend. Okay, so before we start, we're gonna make like a quick review of the topics we are going to practice, and we're gonna focus more in grammar, okay? Nos vamos a enfocar más en gramática, so I will ask you to study by your own the topics of the vocabulary. Maybe I can give you like a study guide, and you can practice it by your own, that vocabulary part. So today we're gonna start working with the future. And to start, I'm going to, we're gonna just practice and practice and practice. So here I have the board. And we're gonna start talking about future plans. To talk about the future, I have the present continuous. I have, okay, present continuous, be going to, and will. The structure for each one of this is subject plus the verb to be plus gerund, which is the ing ending of the verb. Then be going to is the subject plus verb to be plus going to plus infinitive. And then with will is subject plus will plus infinitive. Now I'm gonna write an example for each one of them. I'm gonna use the same verb. I am going to Paris next year. Next year. Would be going to, I am going to go to Paris next year. And with will, it will be I will go Paris next year. I'm talking about the same topic because I want you to notice or see the differences between these different sentences that are talking about the same thing, and that the three of them are referring to something that is true, that is for the future, right? Related to the future. So let's say, what is in the first sentence, I am going to Paris next year. What does this mean? I'm saying that I have already planned this trip, and it is sure that this trip is going to happen. So I'm telling you, I'm going to Paris next year. It is for sure. I have already planned it, and it will happen, right? It's gonna happen. Then we have the same sentence but with go. I am going to go to Paris next year. We're talking also about something that I have already planned. But let's see that the difference between these two could be that this one, it's just the plan that you have, but let's say that you haven't made any arrangement to say it like that. But it's also sure to happen. It's also that you're going. I mean, it's also sure that you're going because you have already planned it. And with will, it's just something that you probably said just to say something. Give me a minute, please. And this one with will, I will go to Paris next year. It's just probably something that came to your mind when you were speaking. I don't know, let's say that you're talking about traveling with your friends, and then you're thinking about it and you say, oh, you know, I'll go to Paris next year. You are just thinking about it. Obviously, you're talking about the future, but it is not something that is gonna be sure. You're just talking that you want to do it. And obviously it's for the future. You just decided that situation in the present. Or it is just a possibility, but we're gonna see about it later on. Okay. Do you have any question? Oh, by the way, talking about using the verb go. Remember, when you're using going to, you must add another verb. Going to go, for example. And the present continuous, this is a present continuous subject and verb. And it's extremely more common to use the present continuous with the verb go. At the end, these two are basically the same. And I say basically the same because there could be little but not that important differences between them. But at the end, both of them are showing the same. They are showing something that has been planned before the moment of speaking. What does this mean? That it will happen. They will happen because everything is set. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. If you have a question or something, please ask me, okay? Because we don't have that much time today to review this. So, well, basically, this is the different ways we can express about something related to the future. 100% possible, 100, well, let's go in percentages, could be like 100% these two, and will, it's like a 80-90. I mean, it may happen, but it may not. Okay, so this is the first part that is gonna be about the future plan. The next topic is about predictions. I'll write it here. And for predictions, I have the use of may or might, which is, I was gonna say exactly the same, but well, yes, it's because it is the same. They are referring to the same thing, but let's say that if we're talking about something that is more likely to happen, I'll use might. Okay, and then we also have will. And I repeat, this is for predictions. Now, what is the structure of using this? Might, sorry, is less probable than may, but at the end, it's like a 5% of difference. So may and might would be subject plus may or might and infinitive. And will is exactly the same structure as in the one here. Subject plus will plus infinitive. Let me write an example. It might, I'm gonna use the same context. It might rain. So the forecast, when they say it might rain on Sunday. Okay, so here I have two examples. I saw the forecast and it says it might rain on Sunday. This is a possibility and it's just a possibility, right? I mean, I don't have evidence. I don't have a strong evidence. It is just based on the forecast, but well, it's just a probability. Now with Will, look at the sky. It's pretty cloudy. I'm seeing a lot of clouds, dark clouds, etc. So I think it will rain. This is probably a stronger possibility because I'm having the evidence in the sky. But at the end, both of them are referring to something predicted. I mean, none of these two expressions I'm using here, or three expressions, are something sure to happen. They are not 100%. So with Will or with May, I'm talking about something that it's just likely to happen, but let's say in a percentage, in low percentage, because it's not even 100% or 90% sure that this will happen. Then we also have going to with the same structure as this one. También tenemos el going to express to something that is probable to happen. It is exactly the same structure. Probably I'm going to use going to when, let's say that I'm sure about the situation, but it's not sure that it's going to happen like that. For example, let's say that you're having a very difficult math test in the evening and you say, you know what, I'm going to fail. I mean, you're not sure about it because you don't know yet, you haven't done the exam. But if you're saying I'm going to fail, it means that you have a strong evidence that that is going to be the result. Then I also have likely. For example, oh, it's likely to, and we use the be going to, I'll write it here. I'll add the other two I mentioned. Be going to. Be going to and be likely to. The structure for these two, well, this is the same. Subject plus verb to be. Plus verb to be. Plus likely to. And now let's see the examples. I'm going to fail math. Or it's likely to be it's likely to be dangerous, for example. Okay, so all these different options I put in here are showing me just a possibility. So I'm just talking about predictions, and with predictions, I mean, this is not 100% that is going to happen, but I predicted something, so it means that there's a possibility for these things to happen. So, for example, with may or might, it is probably your opinion based on something that you saw, but you're not sure about it. With will, let's say that you have evidence in there, and you can say because of that. And with the going to is that you feel that that is going to happen, but you're not sure because it hasn't happened yet. And with likely to, it's just something that is it's a possibility again, right? Likely to, it's like a synonym of it's possible to. So till this point, do you have any question about the predictions and future plans, structures and use of them? I hear you. Hello. ¿Me escuchan?
Sí.
Okay. Questions?
No.
No?
No.
Okay. Bueno, future and predictions. I have talked about two of the topics that are going to be here. Next. Next grammar topic is... Oh, we don't have more. Ya no tenemos más. Solo viene de grammar, solo viene el de future plans, que es el que está arriba. Y también viene future predictions. Y de grammar es todo lo que va a venir. Tengo use of English, tengo vocabulary. ¿Qué tipo de vocabulary or other things do I have to study? Okay, vocabulary such as, for example, deadline, meet a deadline, get started, put off, get distracted, prioritize task, multitask. That is a vocabulary we saw in the first unit. More vocabulary. Okay, what other vocabulary did we see? For example, let me find it. For example, phrases such as, it's close to my heart, which means that it's something that you feel, right? Or let's face it, or this hits the nail on the head. Do you remember those idioms? I asked you to copy them. Les pedí que los copiaran con la definición de nada más de la frase. Entonces de ahí pueden tomar, de ahí pueden estudiar lo que es el vocabulary de los ejercicios que hemos hecho. Y también de vocabulary viene de que wrong number, wrong address, date wrong. And basically that's it. Yo recuerdo que en la clase anterior alguien me comentó que sí necesitaban un segundo repaso, pero la verdad no recuerdo qué es eso que ustedes necesitan reforzar. Can you help me and I'll help you? ¿Nos escucho?
Pues yo la verdad, o sea, yo estoy bien. Bernardo fue creo que el que había dicho que necesitaba otro repaso, no sé qué
No,
tema.
pues, o sea, igual con esto con estructuras de la gramática está bien. No
Ok.
es así que volver a hacer ejercicios o así está bien.
Ok. Entonces, ¿listos para mañana?
Yes.
Ujú.
Sí.
Bueno, literalmente ya esta es la última clase que los voy a ver porque ya mañana pues es el examen y no voy a hacer videollamada para eso, nada más les estaría compartiendo el link. Y igual no para compartirles las calificaciones, tampoco estaría haciendo videollamada. Entonces, chicos, pues aquí nos despedimos. Probablemente ya el próximo semestre ustedes entren de manera presencial. Bueno, digo probablemente porque hasta ahorita el gobierno de la República es lo que ha dicho, pero para ser sincera, no hemos recibido ninguna instrucción, ¿no? Pero entonces, por eso digo probablemente. Entonces, pues hay que esperar un poquito, todavía falta para el inicio del siguiente semestre. Entonces ya veremos qué sucede. Lo más probable, pues, es que si seguimos en línea o no, pues yo ya no sea su maestro, o sea, you will have a different teacher. Entonces, pues mucho gusto, fue un grupo muy agradable porque en realidad como eran poquitos, a pesar de que eran pocos, siempre cumplían y aquí estaban y aunque no les gustaba hablar a veces, pues igual no me sentía tan dura. Así que, thank you and well, I don't know, that's it. Is there something that you would like to say, comment, suggest or whatever?
No, pues
Sí.
que muchas gracias.
El examen sería por la misma aplicación, perdón.
Sí, no sería por aplicación, no sería por Quizzes, sería por Google.
Ok, thank you.
Okay.
See you, teacher.
See you.
Muchas gracias
Muchas
por
gracias,
todo, teacher.
mi planeta.
Seguimos en contacto, nos vemos, bye.
Sí,
Bye,
teacher,
gracias.
gracias. Bye bye.